We have Caddy into the jet, searching for the double cross mate. We are going to likely be summoning a gigantic sprite before we get into Beard. We're on summon number 3. And we have a ton of disruption. Holy moly. We can pretty much steal a monster with a double cross. We have Imperm. We have Carrot, Spell and Trap card negate. On a special summon, the sprint can return you back. We have Masquerena Disruption. We have Mannequin Cat, which could probably summon a Floodgate against you. It's about 5 to 6 disruptions we have to play through. Now, we do have Triple Tactics talent, which will definitely help if the Carrot does not negate it. So how do we get rid of Carrot, but then Elf can reborn the Carrot before we can activate our Triple Tactics talent? How do we do that? I guess we get rid of Carrot, then finger the Carrot, then Triple Tactics talent. Is that the way? But how do we do that? Ogre is here. We're not going for the Carrot. We're going for the Spright Elf. We have Double Cross, which is going to steal the Kashtira Ogre on that attack. Come to me. We should have used the toggle on feature, and at the start of the battle phase, steal the Ogre. We should not have allowed it to declare an attack. That's fine. Main phase 2 it up. Masquerena with the Spright Elf chaining to it, activating to Shokan into, what are we making? Also reborning Caddy, which is pretty much a 7th form of disruption, making our SP Little Knight untargetable with the Spright Elf mate on someone, banishing the preparations off the field. And it's like, where's Ogre? Ogre is attached as an Xyz material. Elf is going to be attempting to reborn the blue, as we do have to target it with the Elf. Now, Elf could have been like Promethean Princess. They could have made it even more broken where it does not target. Promethean does not target, Elf does. So thank you, Konami, for showing some restraint. We have 6,000 damage, not enough for lethal. I don't see any way to summon a monster on the field secretly. Main phase 2, Zeus. With 4 materials, double field wipe, untargetable. You have Caddy, Carrot, Little, wipe the field, Imperm, Ash. We have about 7 freaking disruptions. We're gonna summon the right card, triggering the Caddy, Imperm, negate the right card from searching for a Scareclaw card. But now, Triple Tactics talent's activatable. But as I said, the Carrot is stopping us from activating the Triple Tactics talent. We have to deal with the Carrot before we can whip out the talent. We're going to be using the Effect Veiler here, just like that. And we're going to be chaining the Elf to reborn the Sprint, giving us another form of disruption, but it actually would have to detach a material off of Zeus. So you're trading a field wipe for being able to spin a card back. Triple Tactics talent, as the Carrot is very easily negating it. Negate. No Triple Tactics talent, mate. You will not take control of a monster. And what else do we have here? We have Starfrost popping the Lightheart. Little Knight is going to chain banish the Lightheart. Oh my gosh, this is devastating. Off the field you go, thus the Starfrost does not even get summoned. There was a scenario where maybe we could use Nibiru on our own turn if they would summon enough. Very nice. Good job to Spright Melffy. All right. Come forth. Kashtira Ogre is here. I do think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the unique card games where there's too many good decks. And because there's too many good decks, a lot of really good decks just don't get played. Because there's decks that are just a little bit better. And then the deck's not interesting enough for everyone else to play the deck, but it's still a very good deck. Max Seed chain to the Shang-Ri as we are summoning from the deck, likely a Fenrir. Come forth. A good deck right now that a lot of people are not playing is something like Lyrilust, probably. There's probably no die-hard Lyrilust players besides maybe someone like Fictinium, and then you're only really going to see that deck through them, even though it's a very powerful deck. Ash, negate the gigantic Sprite mate. This is interesting to see. People main decking Cosmic Cyclone. Yup, I think so. That's a good thing to be playing against something like Fire King. We're going to Kashtira Shang-Ri, lock up a zone, activate the Cosmic Cyclone. Goodbye to the Big Bang, which now triggers the Big Bang to return our Ogre, which we could then summon the Ogre. We're now going to take control of the Shang-Ri, further Shokan this up into a Sprint. We actually couldn't because the Gigantic Sprite activated, right? The Gigantic Sprite locked us into level 2s only. So the Ogre normally would have been summoned, but we're locked out. We can't summon Nibiru, we can't summon anything else. Now make it a Sprite Sprint on summon, send the Angler trigger, summon for the deck, double Nimbles, nimble it up. Further Shokaning into Mannequin Cat. Mannequin Cat, Detached Material, Reborn the Ash. We can target any monster in the field. We're going to target a fire to reborn a fire. We got Sprite's red. We can now make a Zeus if we want to. Well, actually we can't. We're locked in a level 2. Okay, but we do have the ability to suck up the unicorn. And if you special summon the Sprint, will return it back to the hand. But the Kashtira cards, even though many other cards have the restriction of they can only be special summoned once this way, they could be special summon, return back to the hand, special summon, return back to the hand. They don't care. So Sprint's not going to be very good against Kashtira. We're not yoinking. We're waiting. Okay, we're waiting. And the unicorn did not activate its effect because the Spright red would have negated and destroyed it. Very well done. Summon the ogre, not triggering the sprint, of course. We're saving the sprint for a monster from the extra deck. We're now going to use Mannequin Cat to summon from the deck a Caddy, trigger the ogre, look at the top 5 cards of the deck. Okay, this is not a bug, but there's an issue where if you are using ogre, and you all could joke and say it's not a high priority for Konami to fix this, but it reveals that the top card of the deck is Dark Beckoning Beast, and there's another Dark Beckoning Beast. And then when it shows you the cards to banish, it shuffles it up, so you don't know which one's on top of the deck. Now, this happens to be the 2 cards on top of the deck, but if there was one on top of the deck and the other was at the bottom of the 5 cards, you don't know which one to banish. It's a gamble. There's no way to know. It's shuffled. But again, yeah, maybe I'll just think it's not a priority to fix that. Lightheart is here, come forth, and the dual log it shows it, just not in the choices. Caddy will trigger on the Lightheart summon, as we are going to be turning this into a form of disruption, grabbing our Penny to now Shokan into a Herald of Arclight whenever we want. We have our Planet Scareclaw field spell. We're going to chain the Penny to its activation to get Synchro Summoning, Synchro Shokan into our Herald of Arclight. Anything sent to the graveyard from the hand or deck will be banished, and we can negate anything. Activating the right card on its special summon, we are going to negate, and destroy the right card. Not being able to search for a Scareclaw rival, which would reborn from the grave. Further Shokaning this up into an SP Little Knight. To this day, people are, Little Knight I think's been out for long enough for you to understand fully. Its first effect does not allow you to attack directly. So if you're making this in main phase 1, but it is main phase 2, do remember that. We're going to be chain banishing itself plus another card, plus banishing the mannequin off the field. Very well done. In response to that sprint, attempting to return the Little Knight back to the hand, we're going to preparation, special summon only from the banishment. Preparation cannot reborn any of our in-grave Kashtiras. Now, it's interesting to note, the preparations could summon your Arise Heart if it's banished. The Birth could not. Birth has to be a non-Xyz Kashtira. Preparations could reborn Arise Heart, so do be careful against preparations if you deal with their Arise Heart and it gets banished. Their own Unicorn is banishing from the extra deck, by the way, getting rid of a Vicious Astrolabe and also the Big Eye earlier. You have Gigantic Sprites summoning from the deck a blue. Blue come to me, adding a Jet. Jet on summon, searching for a Sprite starter. We're going to further Shokan this up into a Spright Elf. Elf making the Unicorn untargetable as we reborn our red for a Monster Negate. Sprite starter summon from the deck. Carrot, we have Monster Negate. Spell and Trap card negate. Let's go. What do? We have Field Spell Pop in the finger. Now, the Kashtira Birth does not target. So if you activate Birth to reborn from the grave, they finger it. You can still reborn it, but it will be negated. We're going to be fingering the right card, though. Negate. Now what? We need something to pop with the Vsauce Starfrost. We have to be able to pop a monster with a different type of attribute in order to summon it. We have Carrot, which will be negating the Kashtira Birth, negating the effect and not destroying it. You'd have to be tributing off the Spright Elf. Spright Melffy is just dominating the early rounds. What is going on? 2-0, 2-0 back-to-back. Let's go. What the heck is this? Phantasme in the main deck. Okay, this is it. Will Spright Melffy make it into the top cut? All Spright Melffy has to do is defeat Labyrinth. All right, easy, right? Backjack, I love Backjack. I don't love how we don't get to look at the top 3 cards with them in the replay, though. So they're going to rearrange the top 3 cards of their deck, and then during the opponent's turn, they could banish the Backjack, set the top card of their deck, and then they could activate that card that is newly set. Otherwise, if it's not a normal trap, it goes to the grave, which could also be good. We're going to use that newly set Big Welcome, which we rearranged among the top 3 cards of our deck to summon a Lovely. Returning back our Spright, not Spright, Link Karibo, but to then trigger the Lovely to wipe out the opposing Ronin Totem to stop them from summoning a Spright. That is the priority on why we wanted to summon Lovely right then and there. That was the urgency to stop a Blue, stop a Jet, stop a Carrot, stop a Sprint, not Sprint, but the other one. It's Blue and Red. Blue and Red, yes. Red and Carrot, Red and Carrot. Carrot is orange, but is red, and red is orange. Yes. Lovely is going to be setting a Big Welcome for the graveyard. Imperm, negate the Lovely from setting from the grave. Now, generally, the Imperm will negate Lovely from popping a card. You would then make a Muckraker to then reborn the Lovely so that you could further set a trap from the grave. Now, the Dragonized Prison is quite insane. We're going to Imperm early onto that Lovely. Dupe Frog. In response to that, we're going to reborn from the opponent's graveyard a Ronin Totem, and then we're going to be able to banish from our field an Aqua and an Aqua. Double Aqua, Banish. Thus, the Spright Red that is orange cannot be summoned. We do have a Crossout Designator. How much resources have been wasted on this Lovely? We have impermed it twice. It's recycling an Ice Dragon Prison right now with nothing in the opponent's graveyard. Was that the correct play? Well... wait. Okay, so he passed on the normal summon effect because we know there's an Ice Dragon Prison. Thus, they would send an Aqua. We would then summon the Aqua, banish the Aqua. Now, we do want to stop them from summoning the red, so we're going to use the Big Welcome, returning it back to the hand, triggering the Lovely, pop another card from the hand or on the field. Lovely Control. The 4-0 undefeated Spright Melffy has finally lost a duel. But it's just one duel. Let's hop in game 2. Butler is for turn 0 plays. Butler could set the trap trick. Trap trick could activate literally any trap from the deck. We could Daruma on the opponent's turn. Let's go. But when? When? Now? Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, we could Daruma the fields. We could Daruma the entire field. Or we could use the Dogmatica Punishment to get poppin'. Yes? What do we do? But doesn't this just reborn the Dark Beckoning Beast? That's a problem. I think we initially were going to Trap Trick into the punishment to pop, then pop. So I think we maybe should have waited on our Spright starter, make them commit to that play, and then follow up the starter. Because now we change our mind. That's what I'm thinking. Daruma, get flippin'. Daruma, flip the whole field face down, which we maybe would have done before your Spright starter. We're now in the end phase, going to Torby set up a Big Welcome from the deck. And we have Spright with no hand traps, no disruptions whatsoever. We have Ariana on summon, searching our deck for another Butler. Interesting. We're going to send it to the grave to special summon a Lady from the hand. Okay, we want to battle with the Lady, otherwise the Lady has to be summoned into defense. Big Welcome after the Ariana attack. Lady's going to be chaining to the Big Welcome to set a trap from the deck. And that trap will be an Ice Dragon Prison. Lady being able to search and set any normal trap that you want is disgusting. Returning back to Ariana, Lovely is going to be triggering, activating to pop a card from the hand or on the field. I think it took a lot of balls from Konami to give Lady the effect to set any normal trap. Like that's just forever now. Any normal trap you ever create in the future, you have to think Lady can search and set it. And also Trap Trick could also search and set it. You have Nimble Angler being sent to the grave, triggering to summon up to 2 Nimbles from the deck. Let's keep on going. Main phase 2 Lovely, resetting up our Daruma. Torby is going to be discarding the Ariana to set from the deck a regular Welcome Labyrinth. Oh boy. We got lots of disruption here. How is Spright going to play through it? Jet on special summon, searching for a Spright starter. Flipping up the Beckoning Beast to now make an Almirage to then reborn it with our opening of the Spirit. We're going to use the Big Welcome. Ooh, that's not good. We want to force out the Almirage activation. Now, the Lovely will not trigger because the monster did not leave through a trap effect, thus no pop. Okay. Dodging that, special summon Carrot, making an Underworld Goddess. Now, this is a problem. We have to activate one of our traps to chain the Lady to it right here, right now, before the Goddess goes through and negates. The Goddess will non-target negate the Lady from being able to set traps in the deck. We didn't do it. Uh-oh. We're just not activating our back row. We're chilling. Okay. It's a permanent negate too, right? It's not negated just for the end of this turn. SP Little Knight. If the Goddess is not enough to force you to activate, then I'll make a Little Knight without making it with the Link or an Xyz or a Fusion. Thus, it's not going to be able to banish a card on its summon. Yeah, we're forever negated on that. Phantasme, late to the party. We're just not going to activate anything. Just simply take out the Little Knight. Main phase 2, summon from the deck Ariana. Now, Goddess can negate a big welcome, but Goddess cannot negate a regular welcome. Welcome must summon from the deck. Big welcome could summon from the grave. To battle we go, going into the Ariana. We must know that the big welcome is negatable, so we're going to Daruma. Now, the Goddess states that she is unaffected if she's not targeted by a card effect. Unaffected by activate effects unless targeted. Now, Daruma does not affect the card, it affects the player. It forces the player to put their unaffected card into the grave if it did not flip face down. Yu-Gi-Oh! Rulings. Nice. All right, off the top of the deck, just like that, Our Lady is now reset, no longer negated. Within the battle phase, big welcome, reborning Our Lovely, return back the Lady. 2900 for game, also triggering to pop a card from the hand or on the field. Torby trigger, reborn from the grave. Welcome Labyrinth, trigger to set from the grave. And the Phantasme was not even needed. 2-0, the 2-0er. Spright Melffy 2-0'd their way all the way to the third round just to get knocked out by Labyrinth. Very nicely done from both players, thank you. Let's keep on going.